Shalom, Yasharala Shalom. This your Ak Quadash Alahayim coming at you with another quick lesson. First and foremost, I like to say Kal Halah Abanawa Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Hamashiach Amanawal Barakatah. Yahweh being the name of our Heavenly Father, the Ancient of Days, the Lord of Hosts, the Almighty, and Yahweh Shah being the name of His only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And I'm finna go into this article. It says, Russia State TV warns U.S. a nuclear strike will happen in the crosshairs. So it says a Russian state TV host has warned that if the Ukraine war escalates to a nuclear phase, the Kremlin will strike the U.S. with nuclear weapons as it is in the crosshairs. Right? So Russia is making threats that, hey, the U.S. will get hit with a nuclear warhead. Why? Because it is in the crosshairs of the Ukraine war, man. They keep funding the war. They keep siding with Ukraine. Biden going to visit Ukraine. You got the president of Ukraine coming to visit America. They draining America out of all the money, the little bit of crumbs that it have left. Right? They're caught in the crosshairs. Now, when you look up the word crosshairs in the Cambridge Dictionary, crosshairs are two thin wires crossing each other in a gun or other device, which you use to help you aim at something. You know, like you playing Call of Duty. You know, you got your scope on and you waving it around and you see different people and they in the crosshairs, meaning you could open fire on them at any time. And that's what Babylon is in the midst of, the crosshairs of the weaponry, man, of the nuclear weapons. They caught in the crosshairs. For example, like the sniper had them in the crosshairs, right? You don't want to get caught out there in the crosshairs and end up getting hit in the line of fire, man. And that's what's about to happen to America. America about to get hit in the line of fire because they don't know how to mind its business. This great whore, Mystery Babylon the Great, don't know how to mind her business, right? And the powers that be, Esau, Edom, who run this country, he's not a keeper at home. He's always in everybody else's business, meddling, man. The Most High teaches us not to meddle in many matters, man. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 10th chapter. So like Ecclesiasticus, the 11th chapter in the Apocrypha. And let's go down to the 10th verse. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11 and verse 10, and it reads, My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain. Neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. Right? So the Most High telling us don't get involved in many people's matters and many different matters that don't even concern us. Because if you meddle too much, if you meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. A lot of brothers and sisters get put to death because they got their nose in somebody else's business, man. And you want to abstain from that. You know what I'm saying? And this great whore, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, America, doesn't know how to stay out of people's business. And a lot of y'all follow the ways of this God-forsaken country, and y'all don't know how to stay out of people's business. Y'all and everybody gossip, everybody business, a busybody going from house to house, right? The same way America does, man. And that's why Russia says that a nuclear strike will happen, because America is in the crosshairs, man. Right? And this country got to burn down to the ground. I know you seen Joe Biden having a pride party at the damn White House, man.
Welcome to the White House.
Thank you.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life.
Yeah! Can we take a little video? Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Trans rights are human rights. Oh, it's a video. Oh, it's a video. White House?
Are we cactus at the White House?
With homosexuals and transgenders up there topless at the damn White House, man. This place gotta be destroyed. Not just because it's a busybody, but because of stuff like that. The sins have reached the heavens, man. All manner of wickedness goes on here in America, and they have the audacity to blaspheme and say, God bless America. No, the Most High he has cursed America. When you break the commandments, you get cursed, man. That's just how it goes. When you don't keep the laws of God, when you forsake the laws of God, you become cursed, not blessed. So on the dollar bill, it should read, God cursed America. Because America is cursed now. Right? But let's go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5, and it reads, Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, and that wine represents doctrines and teachings. So Esau, Edom, he breaks the law. He transgressed the law by wine, by different teachings. He teach people that it's okay to be a homosexual. That's transgressing the law. Right? He allow his centurions to murder innocent Israelites. That's transgressing the law. Right? He teach grown men that they can have a relationship with a little boy. Pedophilia. That's transgressing the law, man. It say, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, meaning his teachings, he is a proud man. Neither a keeper, Salakia, neither keeper at home. So Esau Edom is a proud man. Very prideful. He exalt himself like he the Most High. Neither keepeth at home. He don't keep at home like we just went into. He meddle in many matters, man. He over here giving money to this nation of people. He over here giving money to this nation of people. He over here getting involved in this nation's resources. He's over here trying to take this nation's resources. Right? He always got his hand in everybody's business. He's not a keeper at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right? So he enlarges his desire as hell and death. Right? Meaning he's greedy, and he could never be satisfied. A greedy person can never be satisfied, no matter how much they take, no matter how much they eat, no matter how much they rob, steal, and kill. They can never be satisfied. And that's Esau Edom. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, which is America, you can look it up, you can Google it. Right? The daughter of Babylon, which is America, is a melting pot. Because Esau has gathered unto him all nation, and heaped unto him all people. He have every nation of people right here on this American soil, man. And he think he running things, man. He think he finna remain in power. He think his house is gonna continue forever, man. But it's not. Judgment is fast approaching this God-forsaken country. Verse number 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increased that which is not his. How long? Right? So all these nations are finna make Esau Edom a proverb and a byword, right? And say destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his. Destruction to these wicked Edomites because they stole this. We on stolen land. And he increased on this stolen land that which is not his, man. Built cities. Created laws that only benefits him and his people, man. So it's woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? How long is this going to go on? It says, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that thick clay means extreme debt. America has extreme debt. It's like over $30 trillion in debt. America owe China money, owe Japan money, and owe countless other nations money, man. But yet they harassing you for a late bill that you didn't pay, when they owe trillions of dollars, man. And to him that laden himself with thick clay. So Esau done laden himself with thick clay, meaning extreme debt. Just look at the world debt clock. America is at the top of the list. Verse 7. Shall they, and that they are the creditors, like China, Japan, and the rest of the other nations, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Right? They gonna rise up and bite him like, hey man, where my money at? I need my money, or you gonna pay in blood. Right? And awake that shall vex thee, man. It's vexing when bill collectors call, man. It's vexing when they call you nonstop 100 times a day, all week, all month, all year. It's vexing. And that's what's happening right now, man. These nations like, hey, I need my money, man. I need my money. Or I need some of that land, or all that land. Right? And that's what's happening, man. Right? It say, and thou shalt be for booties, meaning spoils. Right? Like spoils of war. It say, thou shalt be for booties unto them. So these Edomites are finna be spoils unto the other nations, man. These other nations are about to spoil or rob Esau Edom, because he don't want to pay up. And they gonna take what he don't want to give up, man. Right? So nearly 1/3 of the national debt is owed to other countries. Right? China is the biggest foreign creditor, man, followed by Japan. So Moab and Ammon are the biggest creditors. So they ready to bust heads about their money, man. And I don't blame them. Verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations. Spoiled means robbed, right? Or stolen. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Right? So Esau Edom has robbed many nations. That's all he do is pillage and rob, rape and murder. He go from nation to nation, conquering nations and colonizing nations, man. And murdering unjustly, men, women, and children, not sparing the young or old. Right? So because thou hast robbed many nations, all the remnant of the people shall rob thee, because of men's blood. Esau loved blood, man. That's his thing. He loved blood. Even when you watch the Hollywood movies, man, they be infatuated with blood, man. Every movie you see a ton of blood. And even in real life on the news, man, on the streets, you see a ton of blood in these streets, man. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 6. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 6, and it reads, Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right? So the Most High is preparing Esau Edom for blood, man. I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Why? Because Esau don't hate blood. He loves blood. So therefore, blood is going to pursue him. His men, women, and children are about to be put to death, man. Are about to be slaughtered. The Most High is about to bathe his sword in heaven and come down on Idumea, man. Right? Going back to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter and the 8th verse. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 8, and it reads, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because you reap what you sow. Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Right? So Esau got to pay for all the violence. Esau be sipping on that wine of violence, man. He loved blood, so therefore he's going to reap what he sowed. Blood is finna pursue him. Right? The Most High also say, woe to a man that builded his woe to a land that Salaki, woe to a man that built his house with blood, roughly paraphrasing. Let me get that. Salakia. This Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter and the 12th verse. And it reads, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, establish a city by iniquity. Right? So Esau Edom built this great city, America, this town with blood, by slaughtering all the Native American Indians, slaughtering the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Issachar, right? All the 12 tribes that's on this American soil, man. He built his town with blood. Destruction to him that buildeth a town with blood, establish a city by iniquity. So America was built off of sin and wickedness and iniquity, right? So it's destruction unto Esau Edom, right? Going back to the 9th verse, it say, woe to him that covet Salakia. It said, jump into verse 9, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. So woe to him that covet an evil covetousness to his house. Covetous leads to a lot of different sins, man. There's nothing more wicked than a covetous man. There's nothing more wicked than Esau Edom, because he's a very covetous man. Culture vulture. He want everything that everybody else got, man. And our people follow his ways. Our people want everything that somebody else got. Right? Let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. Right? This town, this city, America the Great, right? Babylon the Great was built off iniquity. Why? Because Esau devised that Esau devised that iniquity. He came up with crafty counsel. He planned this out.
The CIA is the biggest drug cartel in America. For decades, the American government has been accused of flooding African American communities with hard drugs.
I'll tell you, Director Deutsch, as a former Los Angeles police narcotics detective, that the agency has dealt drugs throughout this country for a long time.
How true is this, and what does this have to do with communism? In the 1980s, a communist regime took over this country, Nicaragua, during the peak of the Cold War. And we all know how Americans feel about communism anywhere near them. No. The US feared that this would give communist USSR an ally way too close to their border. America's best idea to stop communism in Nicaragua was to fund a rebel party to start a civil war in Nicaragua called the Contras. One problem: how do we fund a war without the taxpayers finding out? How about we sell cocaine to black communities and have them fund the war? What's the worst that can happen? Well, just millions of blacks being incarcerated, homicide rates doubling during this time period, and addiction breaking families apart. If you think this is the worst thing the CIA has done, you're wrong. Can you guess what else they've done?
Right? Destruction to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. So while they in their bed, they plotting on ways to destroy you or to destroy us, the children of Israel, as well as other nations. When the morning is light, they practice it. So when they get out their bed, they put their thoughts to action, man. Right? Because it is in the power of their hand, it's in the power of their works. Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. So Esau Edom, he covet fields, he covered America. Everywhere he go, he covet fields and then colonize it. He take it by violence, then colonize it, man. Destroy houses and take them away.
In the 1800s, the U.S. had its eyes on Mexican land, driven by the idea of manifest destiny. In 1846, the U.S. provoked Mexico into war by occupying disputed territory. After 2 years of brutal fighting, Mexico was forced to sign the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848. This treaty gave the U.S. control over Texas, California, and a huge chunk of land in between, totaling over 500,000 square miles. Mexico lost half of its territory, and the U.S. expanded its borders at the expense of its southern neighbor. And that's the harsh truth about how the U.S. stole half of Mexico's land.
So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's exactly what Edom did to us, as well as other nations that he done conquered, right, around the firmament. He oppressed a man in his house. He oppressed the house of Israel, the children of Israel, even a man in his heritage, to the point where he took our book, our instruction manual, and whitewashed it and made it his instruction manual that he don't follow, right? He oppressed a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. This book, this Bible is our heritage, man. It's not a religion, it's our heritage, right? The Most High gave us these laws for a heritage, and Esau oppressed that heritage from us, man. He oppressed us from our heritage, right? So he must pay, man. And that's why the Most High putting the spirit on Putin and all the BRIC nations to come against this great whore, right? Going back to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 9, and it reads, "Woe to him that covet a evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil." You know, and Esau is considered the eagle, right? The Edomites represents the eagle. You know, an eagle or a bird, they build a nest in high places so nobody can't, you know, touch them, right? Nobody can't get to the nest. They comfortable having a nest on high because they know other animals and creatures can't really get up there like that to come mess with them. And that's what he do, man. He go build his cribs, his houses on high, man, where people don't really, we don't go to the suburbs like that, man. We're not going deep or far in the boonies, right, where they build their houses at. He separate himself from the inner city. He go in the outskirts of the city. We not doing all that. We in the midst of the city. We in the slums. We in the ghettos. But he put his nest on high, right? That he may be delivered from the power of evil. While robbery and high crime rate is in the inner city, he's on the outskirts of the city where there's peace and safety, right? So he think, right? Verse number 10, "Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul." Right? So it's a shameful history that's been perpetuated throughout the four corners of the earth by this devil Esau Edom. It's a shameful history, and the whole world know about it, man. The whole world is calling you out on your shameful history. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house.
The reign of the United States in the Middle East is fading, and it's been fading for some time, to a very large part because of these endless wars that the United States engaged in. It has truly weakened the United States, made it less capable of providing security, less trusted by its allies, more questioned because these wars were not fought with tremendous competence. One of the reasons why the Chinese were successful in the Iranian-Saudi case is precisely because they had stayed out of those conflicts. They were not taking the Saudi side. They were not taking the Iranian side. They were neutral. Their only interest was to make sure that there was stability because that's good for their economy. That makes China an attractive mediator for a lot of countries in the region in a way that America is not. I do believe that there's a growing sentiment in the region that the United States is not the partner you turn to in order to resolve conflicts, but that now China perhaps is. The only reason that all eyes were turned towards the United States in the past was not because the United States was seen as a fair and impartial mediator. It was because the United States was the only game in town, was the only power with the influence and the ambition to play such a role. Now, when there is another game in town, China's role in the Middle East is changing, and by that, it is also changing the Middle East. Now we're seeing that the Chinese are increasing their ambition, but they're doing so diplomatically. The fear in Washington was that if the United States were to leave the region militarily, it would create a vacuum that the Chinese would fill with their troops and their bases. But that's not what we're seeing happening. The Chinese managed to negotiate and mediate between the Saudis and the Iranians without having a single military base or a single soldier stationed in the Middle East. Its focus has been on trade. Its focus has been on diplomacy, in which it has been nudging, not threatening, these countries to come to the table and come to an agreement. That's a very different approach.
The House of Edom has consulted shame, man. Why? Because it cut off many people. It made war with people that was at peace with him, man. He made war with people that was at peace with him and has sinned against thy own soul. So all the wickedness that's been perpetrated throughout the four corners of the earth by this devil, hey, he only did that to himself, man. He sinned against his own soul, right? And destruction is nigh, man. The second death is coming. Why? Because it is written. The Most High finna melt Babylon with fervent heat. It's finna be destroyed. The U.S. is in the crosshairs, man. Putin got the beam right on America right now. Him and the other BRIC nations, man. So repent, turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments in these last days. Make peace with your people, love your people, you know, break bread with your people, uplift your people, and don't destroy your people. Because the Most High is finna destroy this God-forsaken country now. And with that, I like to say, call her law Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Hamashiach, Amanawal, Barakatah. It's H.O.I. Las Vegas. It's H.O.I. to the chariots fly. Shalom, Yasharallah.